disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Maybe, hey,
Why do you panic?
the way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it pretty
Watch Johnny's bite.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Thursday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. Now, yesterday, something happened. 4 boys, or young men, I should say, driving in a vehicle, charcoal gray sprayed vehicle that was branded as an Audi vehicle. But when I checked the car number, that is GE 15-23, GE 15-23, I noticed that it was a Mitsubishi Spotero with loyalty insurance or something like that. And they had come into a church compound pursuing 2 young ladies who were obviously traumatized. And they insisted that they would pursue them, and went back and came back and went back and came back. I have good information that one of them belongs to the Ghana Immigration Service, recruited about two years ago or so. And one purporting to belong to the National Ghana Navy. There were 4 boys. They came to the St. Joseph the Worker Anglican Church around Cocoa Clinic. Well, we have taken up the issue with the highest authorities. And for me particularly, what struck my attention was that how a car number GE 15-23, which is branded Audi, would actually, when you check with star 920 star 57 hash, star 920 star 57 hash, would register on the phone as a Mitsubishi Spotero. So you are driving an Audi, but when you check, it's a Mitsubishi Spotero. What does the chassis number say? How did the vehicle get into the country? And you see, when you have 4 people in a vehicle that has double identity, Kusi Boateng, Reverend Edu Jemfi kind of identity, you start asking questions, especially when they come in forcefully and they want to cause mayhem, wearing bandana and all of that. I have personally reported the matter to the police, and I'm hoping that the police will take an action on it, because they came to do that action under the security camera at Bishop, Kandeshi Bishop. They were right under the cameras. And they said that blood will flow. So the kind of insolence and the arrogance, especially for people who are supposed to be in uniform, and yesterday one of them was wearing a camo shorts, taking the judicial notice of all those ones. And in good time, we will be watching the police. We'll be watching the other high officers that we have spoken to. And we'll be watching what will happen. And me, I don't forget about things. So good morning to owner of car number GE 15-23. If the car doesn't belong to who was driving it, whoever is driving it, know that it was an Audi. It looked like an Audi branded, but they have come to look for trouble for it, because what was in the star 920 star 57 hash is a Mitsubishi Spotero. Away from that, there's another troubling thing that I saw and I have seen and will continue to see, because we are not doing anything about it. Is that Boboya? The tricycles on our roads. I mean, arguments have been made that, well, support them. That's also how they feed. Put it up there. That's how they feed. Support them. That's how they feed. It's okay. But now I think that they are becoming a nuisance. They are becoming a nuisance. They are becoming a big nuisance because they are in the speed lane. They don't have lights. And sometimes you are coming to work at dawn. and then they are obstructing your way and causing accidents. You have a regional security council. You have municipal assemblies. You have all those things happening. You have all those things happening. And you ask yourself, because I've had senior citizens come to me to complain about the Aboboya situation. So you want to find out what exactly is happening. So good morning to the city authorities. And this was taking around the, that's President Akufo-Addo's father's former land that was given to Societe Generale. It's close to Paloma, around the bus stop area. And you find policemen, about 6 of them, standing under the tree that you see there. 6 of them standing under the tree. And these Aboboyas pass every now and then, causing trouble on the road. What really happens to them? Now, take me to Ejisu, where the electoral officer was counting the ballot sheets. And you see, the Ejisu by-election should be a wake-up call and a lesson to everybody within the political space. The Ejisu by-election should be a wake-up call and a lesson to everybody within the political and space. The MPP's stronghold is the Ashanti region. No debate. The Ashanti region has always voted for the MPP. Ejisu is a very important constituency in the scheme of things in the Ashanti region and in the nation as a whole. Then somebody leaves the fold of the NPP, goes to contest as an independent candidate who is also has a relationship with Afrafranto Movement for Change, Alan Chamatin's movement. And that individual, within a short space of time, is able to get over 40% of the votes that was cast. And there have been allegations and people on tape suggesting that monies were distributed, goodies were distributed, and Indian hemp in Tampi, Papilipi, was distributed. So you ask yourself, where are we actually going as a people? If a government in power and the party in power in its stronghold will go now to distribute Indian hemp, which is illegal, to hold and to smoke and to use, now to electorates to induce them, supposedly or allegedly, as the people said, and nobody has come to deny it, for them to be able to vote in a certain pattern, along with money, pardon it with money, then our democracy is gone. Our democracy is gone. So what really are we doing to ourselves? And should this have come from the NPP? Ediomi said, look, you are distributing money. President was there. This is a stronghold. Understand, this is a stronghold. The president was there. Majority leader, my good friend Afenyo Maki, was there. Vice president was there. Other greats, chairman of the region was there. Everybody was there. And this is supposed to be a stronghold. And the interesting thing is that the largest opposition party, your arch rivals, the NDC, did not even contest. So you are contesting against the CPP and other smaller parties, really. And all the action had to go there. This is part 2 of what happened at Asin North. That the people are becoming much more awakened, and the slogans and the past glory will not win the elections. I said this in 2020. I said it in 2019. I said it in 2021. I said it in 2022. 23. I'm saying it again in 2024. I said what will win the elections and break the 8 for the MPP is the things that the people see and feel as having been done in their lives. It's not inshallah, Takashi, and vibes. And it showed clearly in Ejisu. It showed clearly in Kumewu. It showed clearly in Asin North. Money can't buy everything, or money is not all there is. There are people who still hold their principles. And you know, people can still take your money and decide that they won't do what you're asking them to do. Oh yes, when they bring the money, take the money. It could be all of our money that had been taken and you are just getting a portion of yours. The national cake that you never got. Collect the money, chop. But let your conscience guide you. December is not far. Now, Ejisu has decided, and it is becoming even more dangerous where electorates say that if you don't give me money, I will not go and queue to vote. Whoever started that should be feeling very disappointed and so disturbed and worried by now if he or she had any conscience by this time. Because now the people are becoming money conscious. So the dangerous thing is that we could be getting people into parliament, people who are not suited for that role, but because they have money and deep pockets, we will get them there to become honorable. How do we expect our country to progress if that is the only way? How do we expect our country to progress if that's the only way? How? Look at this electoral officer. Look at him.
76.
75.
70. 71. 72. 73. Me kaya bawa me so ya me fo. 74. 76.
75.
75. 76. 70.
Chairman nearly got into trouble because he was adding one, say, hey, stop there. And Dr. Osenyako, you took money or an envelope. And I've been reading the EC's response, and I think it's very, very ridiculous. You saw how vigilant the people had become. That's how they will be on December 7th. They will open their eyes widely. And incidentally, you take an envelope or whatever it is out of your pocket, give it to an electoral officer conducting electoral business. And Doc, you are not a novice in politics. And all the explanation that the EC has been given is for lunch. Doesn't the EC provide lunch for its ad hoc staff? The same EC that has padded MPP people into the Electoral Commission, the same EC that tells us that they are independent, the same EC, how are they taking lunch from a politician who has an interest in the election that is ongoing? What kind of training do they give to these ad hoc staff at our expense? And the AC is explaining, and I find it very, very laughable. The whole statement is just a joke. And the pain in my heart is that when Jean Adukwe-Mensah was at IEA, I was still practicing as a journalist. We used to sit in front of her. She had very amazing recommendations, together with Bosman Asari, together with Professor Ransford Jampo, who is still speaking. Now we have put Jean Mensah on the park, on the football field. She was standing outside and complaining that the ball has to be played this way and that way and this way and that way. Now we put Jean Mensah on the football park and we can't find the ball, but the match is supposed to be on. If you, under Jean Mensah, if we want to use the same rod of measure that we use for Charlotte Osei in terms of, Charlotte Osei was sacked because of procurement too. Some of the procurements that have been done under the Electoral Commission under Jean Mensah, she should have not been there by now. She should have gone, including BVD machines that had your data, your biometrics being given out. In any advanced country, they would have drilled holes in it or fried the hard drives so nobody can do any recovery. We are giving it out. By what arrangement? Charlie, let me pause. Take me to the Ashanti region. Yesterday, my uncle, and put this video up there, please. The Ashanti regional minister Simon Esemesa. Wafa, good morning. It's saying. Wafa, who says say afe asemne aye eniwo eni nimgwase. Put it up there. That ECG workers will walk off when a regional minister who is the representative of the president is speaking. Titus Glover spoke in the Greater Accra region. He is not the minister for the region. He is the minister designate, but he spoke. And that's even another concern that ministers designate are speaking and they say, oh, they are representatives of the president. I find it very funny. Because the MPP that has been telling us and teaching us that they are the doyens of democracy. But they are doing most of the things opposite democracy. The Ashanti regional minister, Simon Osemesa, who got an ECG engineer arrested for doing his job. For doing his job. The people walked away. The president is watching. The chief of staff is watching. The vice president is watching. Everybody is watching. And he's still there. He's behaving like Dr. Bonaventure Benedict Alegebam, who is supposed to have gone on retirement, but is still at post chopping IGF. Nanado and his old friends, you can't break them. You can't put them asunder. Well, when says they say, Aye Nimgwasie. And it has never happened before in the country's history where a minister speaks at Labor Day, on Labor Day, and the people walk off and they boycott your speech. Say, for us, and fears, we have call baby, our person they call. Say, you. This is becoming embarrassing. What are the people asking for? They say, we went to do a legitimate job, and university owes 600,000. We went to disconnect them. You say we should put the lights back on. We say, we can't do it because we are looking for money for you, who is now begging the IMF after telling us you won't beg the IMF to get money to use for the running of the state. Then you go and call police and say, arrest him, deal with him. The people say, we did no wrong. So please, apologize to our senior staff, a full engineer, and let's continue work. You say, I will not apologize. So Mr. Samuel Semenza is a representative of the president in the region. So technically, he's the president in the region. He's the president's eyes and ears and boots on the ground in the region. Senior Staff Association and staff of ECG, they are angry with you. They walk out on you. School feeding caterers are not happy with you. They walk out on you. Everybody is walking out on you. But the president is happy with him because even the president, he's able to tell you to get up and greet me. Where are you sitting now? I'm walking. I'll get up before you greet me. Even the president does that. So he finds something wrong with this level of arrogance that is being displayed. Let me take you back to 2021, May 10, 2021. There's a gentleman in a blue shirt. We call him Kwame Otredako. At the time when we decided that, we wanted to, after the elections, we wanted to talk to professionals. He was one of the guests that we had on TV3 New Day. It's called Kwame Otredako. And Kwame Otredako is a development consultant. He spoke about DUMSOR in 2021. 2021. But before that, play the president's SOT for me. Play it.
Our workers, over the past few days, we have witnessed stable electricity supply across the country with no load shedding reported anywhere yesterday. For the past 7 years, we have worked tirelessly to keep the lights on, and I am confident that the unfortunate era of DUMSOR will not return.
So, when the president was making this promise to the people that DUMSOR will not return, a very contradictory statement, because he said DUMSOR will not return, but he also goes to talk about load shedding. And I always tell the president, boss, you and the vice president, watch the people who write the statements and speeches for you. They are taking money for doing no work. Were we not in this country when a few days ago we were told that DUMSOR never exists? Where the Minister for Energy told us that if we insist that there's DUMSOR, then we should go and bring our own timetable. He has not apologized for it. He's not the only one. Then the communicators, Dennis Abuaji, everybody, they walked to town. And they kept telling us that we are putting a wrong narrative out there when people's lights are going off in Takrady, in Wa, in Upper East, in many different places. People's lights are going off. He said, oh, no. Today, the vice president tells us that very, very soon, the DUMSOR we see today, we'll see no more because very soon it will be solved. So was there DUMSOR or was there no DUMSOR? President said there has not been any load shedding and the era of DUMSOR will not happen. But people's lights are off as I speak. So who are we deceiving? We had Guta the other time. Now, before we go to Kwame Otredako, there's an ice cream seller who called Sunrise. And that lady should please call me back. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Tell that lady if you know her to call me back. Play that lady's video for me. There's a lady who sells ice cream cake. She was not so happy about the turn of events. She was so sad. Play. If you can play, I'll just play it here.
Good morning, Mr. Johnny.
Hello, madam. How are you?
Mr. Johnny, we are not fine.
Oh.
We are not fine at all. All we are just saying that they should bring out a timetable. It's clear. Like, I'm not even lying. See, I saw ice cream cake.
Okay.
And drug. Ice cream cake, their bottles 100. Because my colleague now in the phone. The end, I like you.
Right.
So she brought her to my place. And she no do me like.
Oh.
Now say.
I bet fermenting. I bet say.
And we have children. Or baba na yeshemi. It is a baby day. She said, I did chimpa na Why? Nana is here. Nana is ill. Because let's go in fashion. That is so like let's compare me home. Why? Why? We are killing them so. Hey.
3FM.
Do you have to go in place like this in our own country? Why? Are they going to look at their children to be ill? How much mean that she found to say, oh, Charlie.
I'm sorry about your situation. I'm sorry. And that's a caller here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. So, Mr. President, who told you that lie? I'll play Kwame's video. That's my last video, and where we end. Play Kwame's video for me.
Help anybody. They're high. The ECG as well, or the people in the game of power provision must be brave and come clean with us at some point. There are times where you hear the excuse of replacing cables and all that. I mean, you speak to the engineers out of camera and they will tell you that, oh, but you people know that it's even commonsensical that you don't put off light when you're replacing cables.
Right.
You run parallel to the old lines and then when you are done, you switch to that side. So that excuse of replacing cables that is neither here or there.
Hoodwinked.
See, exactly. So it's still in the line of deceit. Okay, and that is what is making it more frustrating, Johnny. If you will be very, very practical, if you're not feeling well, before you see a doctor, you feel very bad.
Right.
But once you're told that, okay, it is your ear or it is your tooth, at least you get to know what is wrong with you, and then you calm down and you work a solution.
Right.
And that is what this government must be seen doing. They must be truthful. They must tell Ghanaians exactly what is happening. You see, all these high horse statements and people not understanding what they are doing because they're not educated enough, and it's all cockery. It doesn't help anybody.
It doesn't help anybody.
Good morning, Mr. Johnny.
Hello, madam. How are you?
Mr. Johnny, we are not fine.
Oh.
We are not fine at all. All we are just saying that they should bring out a timetable. Like, it's clear. Like, I'm not even lying. See, I saw ice cream cake.
Okay.
And drunk. Ice cream cake, bare bottles, 100. Because my colleague now, me end, my life,
Right.
So she brought her to my place. And she no mudum life.
Oh.
Now say.
Ebe fermenting. Ebe say.
And we have children. Or baba na yeshem. It is a big day. It's a dear chimpana Why? None of my is here. None of my is ill. We could not start in fashion. That is so like let's compare you home. Why? Why? We are killing them so. Hey.
3FM.
You have to go in place like this in our own country. Why? Are they going to look at their children to be ill? I'll meet me next year. Oh, Charlie.
Mr. President, take a good look at your speech again and read it carefully and think deeply and go out to feel the plight of the people before you come and tell us those things that are written for you, which actually doesn't reflect the lives of the people. Good morning. Please call me 055 924